So that was kind of a strange crash. We haven't had anything like that where it just kind of hung. Usually it will throw up an error, a close or wait, or just or just disappear. But that one didn't do anything, so it goes quicker the second time around. Gives me the opportunity to show you the add-in now. You can also do the pull down next to and pick the add-ins with the library and the utilities we want the library. So utilities would be some of the calculators that come in handy. So we'll go into the inch, the bearings, roller bearings, find those, and then we'll try this again. That one's okay, there we go. Alright, so I want to take a look while we're here. Configuration, auto size to geometry, and 35. Let's go ahead and see if we can auto size. And thickness for, well, it grabbed. Okay, so clear the auto size, so that's what that one does. And we'll go ahead and accept, and then go into position, hit tab, and place. And then we're going to go find this one for the coincident and what I was, the main alignment. No, I don't need to see those. We need to unlock the rotation. We'll set that to concentric. Alright, so we've added in the tool library. Since it was already running before, I'll make that coincident. Alright, we're able to rotate that way. So we'll bring in, and I saved this as the 4-bar assembly. So I'm going to save it along the way, making sure that I don't generate another error. Well, let's, if that brings in just so grabbing it out of the assembly. Alright, so we'll just undo and control select. It jumps, and that didn't really go the right way there, so since it didn't rotate, we'll go concentric, pick that face and that face. If I needed it to be in a certain orientation, then I would be a little more careful of the selection, the rotation, but alright, so let's bring in the second. And now my auto browse when creating new assembly, start command when creating new assembly. Well, that may have been a clue because it was starting that up. So yeah, pretty much don't know. Tab. And did that one jump? Okay, so it reversed it, and we'll go 35 and accept. Place it, tab, click, and hit the X. Concentric. And the way that it's moving, we'll go coincident. I'm getting the pop-ups in my way. I'm not really sure that I wanted to select any of those. Alright, so you're not going to come back that way just yet. Alright, well, we'll go with that. Let's rebuild. Bring in the post holder. We'll collapse that up. Now that may be another one of those rotations, so we'll have to double check those. Alright, so post holder 4, we need to switch that to the long again. Accept it. Concentric. We'll zoom up. Coincident. Yeah, that one doesn't seem to be rotating, so I'm going to suspect that at least one of those concentrics. Alright, so probably going to do the same thing. Well, one of those could be stationary and one of those needs to be able to move, so we'll diagnose as we go. Insert component existing. Link 3. Expand out. I'm going to try this one first, see if it rotates it or moves it about. Okay, got the size, hit the tab, let go. Yeah, flipped it the other way. But it did get a 35. Alright, then I think I was in the midst of trying to, so let's go concentric there. And I don't know that I want it to be coincident just yet, so let's find the last one. We'll expand it out, unlock the rotation. Alright, then what I was trying to do when I crashed, let's go ahead and rebuild and save, just in case. And we're going to drag and drop. It snaps to, hit the tab, let go. Alright, so that one worked pretty good. And we're going to make it concentric with that one. Alright, so let's back up. Is we have a little bit of separation, and I either did not make that one. Oh, I did not make that one long enough. Alright, so, you know, part of our iterative process is to error check. So, let's find the post holder short, switch it to long, make sure it gets checked. That one moves over just a little bit. No, still wanting to rotate. Everything on the rotation side looks pretty good. So let's go with a coincident to here. And that moves that one and moves it to the outside. So this should be able to move. Well, let's try one more. And then we'll double check the bearing. So it's saying, nope, can't get there. So something aligned here on link 2. And I suppress something? No. Coincident to. So I'm not sure what that one is. I don't really want to start deleting things. And that one's showing coincident. Alright, so let's go ahead and suppress that. Oh, I got a good one there then. Okay, so suppressing, unsuppress on that side. Unsuppress. That one had either an error or it generated. Oh, so when I switch from the long to the short, then we'll unsuppress that one. Okay, since that is not going that way, it's not the not going to be the same geometry. So let's edit the feature, and then it's showing a suppressed face. So that would be on the and it's coincident to the planar, so we got to go that way. All right, now I should be able to unsuppress that. All right, so those all stack up, and apparently I did something on the concentrices. Huh. All right, pushed a lot of buttons, and not really sure what happened there. All right, so process of elimination. One of them's got to get it into position. All right, so that is able to rotate. That is able to rotate. And after whatever issues I just created. All right, so those are to the outside, to the inside. A little bit of stack up clearance there. I think I would like to control that a little bit more. Well, that one's long. Did that one not come back? Huh. So post long. Just want to do my error checking here. So post long, post short, post. All right. So that's the clearance, and depending on how fast this rotates, there are some locations where this might try to bind. Let's look at it from this side. All right. Well, I think we're good there. That has the ability to move a little bit on each of those pins. That will keep it from getting into a location where the button head would connect. If and when that will all the way down, and that's pretty much the reason for the relief, except, wow. All right, back to the picture, because I don't think 6 is the pivot. That's a pretty good interference there, so we would have to switch those around and see if the long or the short pick those up. All right, so I'm going to pause it here and do a little more checking, and then we'll make some changes. Okay, so didn't want the long silence while I stared at this for a little bit. 11 and 11, but the long side is coming around and it's hitting the base there. Don't know that I would have anticipated that, so we're just going to do a real quick check. Advantage of the configuration then is oh, that's the one that I made long. So let's switch it back to a short, and that is not too crazy. And then we'll go short to long, and I'm kind of expecting it to do that same thing. Alright, so it can't really go that way. And I need to pull that way, so let's go ahead and we'll identify that one and go back to short, do a rebuild. Oh, I don't think nope, I did. Got to pay attention to those check marks. Alright, so it is going to suppress because that geometry is from the other one, so coincident. And mate. So there's still a little bit of a stack up going on there. Let's see which one of these will move. And the needle bearings should be okay. So that one's going to show the suppressed face. So it did, even though it's suppressed, it went, oh, it unsuppressed it now. Alright, let's see what, kind of locked up there. So the difficult part is going back through. I could almost delete a few of those mates. I don't want to remove the parts though, so I could delete a few of those mates and probably, so this one I think I will delete. Alright, so that moves freely. And we'll stack it up coming this way, and if that is able to move out, then possibly. So let's expand link 2. Those are there. But the bearing did not stay concentric, so not sure why that was. And concentric. Oh, well, that was interesting. I either lost some of those mates, or they're suppressed somewhere with the other geometry. Alright, so in that combination, that's able to move in and out that way. Alright, let's go to the end. Component is fully defined, so one of those should not be able to move. So anything that's on the link will go into the big group here. And that is needle roller bearing, and we'll unlock the rotation. Oh, that was even better. And it did not like that, huh? Alright, time for another pause. Okay, that's a good time to use the undo. Really, at this point, I don't think I want any of these to be locked in the rotation, so maybe it didn't like, or I grabbed something else. Unlock. We'll go single way this time. I was not aware that the bearings participated like that. So maybe the intent is that that one never gets into that position, but if it's a possibility and not knowing exactly what this thing does, at least that gives us the clearance and the interference. So that would be one we'd want to check. I mean, we could see the other one. There wasn't any doubt that it was passing through that tower. So let's take a look at the link, and we'll go to the evaluate, and let's look for, maybe I want to do the move. It's not in a current position, so free drag, collision detection, these components, so that one's already selected. And if I resume the drag, there is a contact there, so either they didn't make that deep enough, or still something going on there. So that one clears the top, but it makes me nervous and not sure what the alignment is, or how much that one is clearing, missing by. But based on that, quite a bit. So at this point, I would go back and double check my numbers, and we'll come up with a solution, but that'll give you the tools, at least on the first go around, to get this assembled and see where it falls out, or you catch my error. So 7, 8, 9. You know what? I put those back together backwards. I went 7, 8, 9 instead of 7, 9, 8. All right, so we need to change those. All right, so if this was configured, I would just change the configuration over, but since I didn't do that, we're going to find those mates, and the needle bearing mate should be good, and the post holder mates, let's go ahead and just delete those out. I think those will be easier to reapply. All right, so if that's capable of moving, all right, now we need to take this one and do the same thing and find the post holder and delete one rotation. Delete. Alright, so one of those I probably did not want to delete. Concentric, oh there it is. Did not want to delete that, I just wanted to unlock its rotation. Okay, so those should still be staying in position. That one can go that way. Let's see, post holder, there is a concentric. Going to delete that one. And let's see if we can reapply it without making too big of a mess going this way. Add this mate, and that's cool. Alright, so there's other mates that still need to get broken apart. Alright, just double checking. Let's go find link 3. Concentric, and coincident. Alright, so if I edit this, I said there's probably a point where I should have just deleted these guys. Link 3, needle roller bearing. No. I need to find the ones that are on the post. Okay, so that one's good. It's good. Needle roller bearing to the post. Alright, those are going to put up a good fight, so yes to all. Alright, that moves freely now. And I'm hesitant to take my chances on this one, but let's go ahead and make that concentric. Okay, so that moves into position. That moves with it. So we need to identify that post. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of those two. And we'll get rid of that one because I've lost track of where I was at. Okay, so if there are no mates to that one, concentric, coincident. Alright, so that's back to the link. Concentric and coincident. And then the last one. Nope, we got to reapply those two. So let me double check my count. That should be link 3, that should be link 2. Okay. Trying to zoom over the context menu. So concentric, that one comes up. and we want that face to be that face. So there's a lot going on here. It's kind of busy. Oh, I did not want one of those. Okay, so let's identify that. Kind of making a mess of this, but this is a good what not to do. Alright, so those two are highlighting. So let's delete that one out. Alright, so that one moves that way. And then that one should be able to move to that one. Alright, so do we have the same misalignment? Alright, so a long. And then when I rotate, that one's going to clear that way, that one's going to clear. So maybe that was up top. Alright, so that just kind of proves that those reliefs don't do a whole lot of anything. But that one seems to still have that, it's low enough that if that one is not a long, that it would contact. So, alright, the long way around, and if you assembled yours and didn't have any of those problems or find any of those problems, then we'll call that good. And if you followed along, I will put the warning in the front. Hopefully you heed it, that watch this through and be able to get the order correct on the first go around.